A great day to one and all. Welcome to the September 2023 licensure examination for teachers or let review for math majors. This time, this will be the start of our final coaching. And I have given you last time 200 items. And for every weekend, we will be discussing 40 items. Okay. So for those who, for the benefit of everyone, I am Mr. Kim JC Ensho, and I will be your discussant. And be reminded as well that for the directions in your answer sheet, shade the letter that corresponds to your answer. If the correct answer is not found among the choices, so you will shade the letter E. I hope this instruction is clear with us. I also hope that the copy of the questions and your answers are ready. And today we will discuss the solutions and the answers to items 1 until 40. And also for us to pass, we should get at least half or 20 out of 40. So if you get 20 and above, that means you passed. But if you got below 20, then probably it's also high time that we double time in our review. So nevertheless, I hope ready na po tayo. Pumunta po tayo sa question number 1. The method of logarithms was first publicly propounded by Blanc in 1614 in a book titled Mirifici Logarithmorum Canonis Descriptio. Is it John Napier, Leonard Euler, Isaac Newton, or Robert Record? Please comment your answer in our chat. Okay, wow. Many of you answered A. And if you answered A, you should be happy. The method of logarithms was first publicly propounded by John Napier in 1614 in a book titled Mirifici Logarithmorum Canonis Descriptio. So that's why John Napier is also famous for his Napier's bones, and it's used also in the field of in logarithms, which are also essential in trigonometry. So if you answered letter A, congratulations, you have a great start. Thank you. Number 2. He first published the rectangular coordinate system that consists of a horizontal x-axis and a vertical y-axis that bears his name in 1637. Who is this guy? Is it Descartes, Euclid, Leibniz, or Gauss? All right. And so it's also prominent that everyone who commented letter A for number 2, your answer is Descartes. Okay. Tama nga kaya si Descartes? And that is yes. Rene Descartes first published the coordinate system that bears his name in 1637. The Cartesian coordinate plane, sometimes called the rectangular coordinate system. It is also called rectangular coordinate system because the grid is made of squares. The Cartesian or rectangular coordinate system consists of a horizontal x-axis or x-axis and a vertical y-axis lines. No? That's why, for example, if you have a certain point, say with coordinates 1, 3, so on the x-axis, positive 1, that's 1 to the right and 3 units up. So if you answered letter A, wow, tama po kayo. Okay, so far good. Number 3. This theorem states that every differentiable symmetry of the action of a physical system has a corresponding conservation law. To whom do you attribute this theorem? Is it Sofia Kovalevskaya, Ada Lovelace, Dorothy Vaughan, or Annie Noether? Wow. According to Sir Chad, Faye Mords, Jason, Orly, and to everyone who commented so far, okay, D ang sagot ninyo. Is it Emmy Noether? If you said Emmy Noether, you are actually correct. Emmy Noether is best known for discovering Noether's theorem, which links mathematics and physics in an extremely important way. So this theorem is actually named after her. It relates the laws of nature and conservation to mathematical symmetry and how we understand the universe. So Emmy Noether is one of the prominent female mathematicians we have. And letter D po yung tamang sagot natin. Very good. So far, so good. Number 4. What ancient civilization made use of hieroglyphs as part of writing and computation? Is it the Egyptians, the Chinese, the Amazonians, or the Mesopotamians? Okay, I can't help but notice A is the answer of many people. Especially, it's the answer of all who commented. Is hieroglyphics or hieroglyphs part of the writing and computation of Egyptians? And you are actually correct. So, for example, if you could see something like this, the ancient Egyptians used the distinctive script known today as hieroglyphs, which is the Greek for sacred words, for almost 4,000 years. Hieroglyphs were written on papyrus. So it could be papyrus is the paper, where they place some of the writings. Aside from that, it's also carved in stones on tombs and temple walls. And it is used to decorate many objects of cultic and daily life use. And it's very essential to ancient Egyptian culture. So letter A po yung ating tamang sagot. For some civilizations in the Mesopotamia, some of them have used cuneiform, yung letter D option. Number 5. Please give me a moment. Please give me a moment. Moment is an ancient unit of time equivalent to how many seconds? Is it 40 seconds, 50, 70, or 90 seconds? Okay. I see that many of you so far, we have D. Okay. All right. D. Tama nga kaya ang D. And if you answer D, according to Science Focus, the term as a definition of time dates actually back to at least the 8th century when the monk Saint Bede used it to define a period of 90 seconds. In reality, if you're going to trace back to history, there were certain values of the length of the moment, but 90 seconds is the most popular of all of them. That's why, mga kaguro, if you give me one moment in time, or kapag, halimbawa, nagmo-moment ka sa tabi, sana naman 90 seconds ka lang mag-moment. Kasi kapag sumobra ka na, hindi na yun moment. Kidding aside. Yes. So the correct answer is letter B. All right. Yes. Kailangan po natin mag-moment minsan. Number 6. In superstition, what number is deemed as unlucky since it is associated with the death of Christ and Abel? Okay, so superstition po tayo. Is it Friday the 13th, Tuesday the 17th, Monday the 11th, or Friday the 17th? Okay. I think all of you will get this right. So if you see something like this, that the certain date became notorious, the Friday the 13th. So and of course, it's not really that bad in reality. It's just that so many important things or events in history occurred during the 13th of uh, Friday the 13th, I mean. And it is actually letter A. So the death of Christ is Friday, something like that. Or the death of Cain. In the apostles, for example, in the picture, there are 13 of them. And so many other accidents or mishappenings in history. That's why this date has become notorious. Letter A for. Galing. All right. How about this? Which of the following is the ratio of the circumference and the diameter? Is it letter A, B, C, or D? Is it E, phi or phi, pi, or I? Wow. Okay, very good. Many of you answered letter C. Convinced po ata tayo sa letter C, pi. And if you answered letter C, tama nga naman po kayo. Um, Kasi by definition, when we speak about pi, or that's approximately 3.14, it is the ratio of the circumference to your diameter. And we have to note that the ratio of the circumference to your diameter is constant for all circles. And this ratio is represented by pi, which is approximately 3.40. And letter C is the correct answer. I believe that many of you will get high in this. So let's hope for the best po, mga kaguro. Okay. And remember, if you have questions or clarifications, please feel free to place them in our chat. Salamat. Number 8. Which of the following is referred to as the golden number? Is it letter A, E, B, phi, C, pi, or D, I? Okay, sabi ni Sir Chad daw, it's letter B, which is 1 plus square root of 5 all over 2. Okay? Some of your answers is B, and there are only few who answered a different letter, but it's okay. I hope you are familiar with the golden number. The golden ratio, also known as the golden number, the golden proportion or the divine proportion, is a ratio between two numbers that equals approximately 1.618 and so on. It's usually written as the Greek letter phi. Some books, they call it phi. It is strongly associated with the Fibonacci sequence, a series of numbers wherein each number is added to the last. So letter C po, tama nga naman po, yung phi. Oh, okay. Wait. Is it really letter C? Or I think it's B. Give me a second. Number 8 is B. Number 9. How about this? What is the 181st digit at the right of the decimal point of the decimal expansion of 48 over 13? Is it A, 6, B, 3, C, 2, D, 0? Okay, so I could see letter A. May sumagot din naman po ng letter D, which is 0. Okay? Okay, sabi ni Sir Chad, 181 mod 6. When we say 181 mod 6, it's the remainder when 181 is divided by 6. But let's see if it is correct. If A is correct, let's see. Now, if you will divide 48 by 13, you will actually get this number, which is 3.692307. And this decimal part has a bar on top. What does this mean? It means that after the decimal point, the 692,307 repeats all throughout. So it's 692,307, 692,307, and so on. No? At dahil ito yung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But So 6 digits repeat periodically. And if you will divide 181 by 6, you will get 30 plus 1 over 6. Or in other words, the remainder here will be 1. And it means if the remainder is 1, then what is the first digit at the right of the decimal point? That is 6, right? That is why the correct answer is letter A, 6. If you got it right, congratulations. But if not, what is important po mga kaguro is that we did our best and this is a learning experience for us. Thank you po. Number 10. What is the value of 1 over 1 times 2 plus 1 over 2 times 3 plus 1 over 3 times 4 plus all the way until 1 over 99 times 100? Did you go with letter A, 49 over 100? B, 49 over 50? C, 99 over 100? Or D, 99 over 50? Okay, please comment your answer po. So far, we have 4 people who commented and their answer is letter, okay, we have 7 now or 8. Their answer is letter C, which is 99 over 100. And maybe some of you use your calculator. Maybe some of you, I don't know what you did. But according to Sir Chad, he used the concept of telescoping series. Okay, which is 1 minus 1 over 100 daw. Okay. In my case, ito po yung ginawa ko. I get the pattern na nila. If I have the only one term, 1 over 1 times 2, di ba magiging 1 half lang siya? Ngayon, how about kung dalawang terms na yung i-add ko? 1 over 1 times 2 plus 1 over 2 times 3. Di ba? This is 1 half. This is 1/6. And 1 half plus 1/6 will give you 2/3. Okay? If now, how about kung tatlong terms na yung i-add mo? 1 over 1 times 2 plus 1 over 2 times 3 plus 1 over 3 times 4. We know that this here, the 1 over 1 times 2 plus 1 over 2 times 3, di ba 2/3 na siya? Ito naman, 1/12. And 2/3 plus 1/12 is equal to 3/4. Now po, may nakikita po ba kayong pattern? And the pattern is, notice nyo po kung ano po yung last na fraction, kung ano po yung denominator niya, yung maliit na number ay magiging numerator, at saka yung mas malaking number ay magiging denominator niya. Take a look po, ito, di ba? Yung sa last fraction po, yung 2 yung numerator, tapos yung 3 yung denominator. Dito naman po, 3 ang numerator, tapos 4 yung denominator niya. So therefore, using the concept of mathematical investigation and upon using the pattern, makikita po natin na yung last number niya ay 1 over 99 times 100, di po ba? So yung mas maliit na number ay magiging numerator niya, at saka yung mas malaking number ay magiging denominator niya. That's why the correct answer po is letter C. And I also agree with Sir Chat, no, nang sinabi niya nang pwede siyang gawing telescoping series. Tama po ito. Okay? But in my case, I did not use telescoping series and simply relied on the pattern I see. Okay? But Sir Chat, thank you po for opening that. 11. Okay, how about this? Consider square lattices of various sizes. Continuing the pattern, how many right angles will there be in figure 10? Did you go for 360, 370, 400, or 500? Wow, grabe. one of your classmates mentioned that the number of right angles is 4n squared. And I believe that n there represents the number of sides or the side length. Okay, sige. Tingnan po natin. Figure 1, di ba, isa lang siya? Pero, meron siyang apat na right angles. So, why apat? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why 1 squared, 4. In figure 2, there are 4 of them. There are 4 rectangles or 2 squared. And, sorry, I mean squares, I mean. There are 4 unit squares. And each square has 4 right angles. So, 4 times 4, 16. And for figure 3, di ba merong 3 times 3 or 9 right unit squares? And each square merong apat na right angles. So that's 3 squared or 9 times 4, which gives us 36 right angles. So if we follow the pattern po, ano po yung in figure 10? We should multiply what? We should multiply 10 squared and 4. Because in general, figure n has n squared times 4 or 4n squared right angles. Thus, substituting n by 10, we have 10 squared, which is 100 times 4, giving us 400 right angles. Indeed, letter C. Wow. I think marami pong makaka-perfect tonight. All right. Number 12. Again po ha, take note. Huwag po kayong mahiyang magtanong kung meron pong question. Please feel free to chat me po. Number 12. Non-overlapping lines are drawn on a plane. Non-overlapping lines are drawn on a plane. So what is the maximum intersection of points of intersection if 8 lines are drawn? Did you go for 28, 36, 45, or 54? Okay, I see that many of you answered letter A. Okay, according po, sabi ni Teacher Vasquez, 8 combination daw po, which is 28. Okay. And actually, tama po kayo. So if you could see, no, kapag isa lang siya, meron siyang walang points of intersection. If there are 2 of them, there's only 1 point of intersection. If you have 3 of them, there are 1, 2, 3 points of intersection. So in general, the maximum number of points of intersection, let's call it I, of n overlapping lines is actually n times n minus 1 all over 2. Bakit ganito? Di ba? Yung bawat lines, each of the n lines will intersect n minus 1 other lines. That's why merong n times n minus 1. Pero, di ba, order does not matter. Kaya, we will divide the product by 2. So that's why, substituting n with 8, so that's 8 times 8 minus 1 all over 2, which is 8 times 7 divided by 2, or 56 divided by 2, 28 intersections. If you wish, you could verify this po. Draw po kayo ng 8 lines na non-overlapping. The maximum will be 28. The maximum number of points of intersection. All right. Magaling, magaling, magaling. Next number. Consider a row of squares as shown. If the pattern is continued, how many rectangles are there in figure 14? Is it 100, 105, 110, or 120? What do you think? Okay. Bakit B? 105. Ano kaya yung technique na ginamit nila? It seems na marami po ang convinced sa 100. Okay, sabi po ni Teacher Vasquez, hindi po ako sure kung ma'am or sir po. Sabi niya it's 14 times 15 divided by 2. Okay. Okay. So if you could see in figure 1, no, meron pong isang rectangle, tapos 1 could be expressed as itself, of course, due to the reflexive property of equality. Now, for figure 2, meron tayong tatlong rectangles. 1, 2, then the whole thing. That's why meron pong tatlo. For figure 3, meron pong 6 rectangles. We have 1, 2, 3, tapos ito. This is 4, 5, and the whole thing, 6 rectangles. So kung makikita po ninyo in figure 1, 1. In figure 2, 1 plus 2 rectangles. In figure 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 rectangles. That's why for figure 14, if we utilize the pattern, kailangan nating i-add ang anong numbers. We need to add from 1 until what? We need to add the natural numbers from 1 until what number? For figure 1, 1. For figure 2, 1 plus 2. For figure 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3. So for figure 14, ano pong numbers yung i-add natin? Very good. It will be the sum of the integers from 1 to 14. No? And remember, meron po tayong, this is an arithmetic series. And the sum of the partial sum, or the sum of the finite number of terms of an arithmetic series is S sub n equals n over 2 times the quantity a sub 1 plus a sub n, where n is the number of terms, a sub 1 is the first term, and a sub n is the last term. Here, meron po tayong 14 terms, so n will be 14. And doing the replacement, S sub 14 will be equal to 14 all over 2 times the quantity, the first term 1 plus the last term 14. And using your calculators for this, you will actually see that the sum of the first 14 and the sum of these numbers is 105. Okay. And also, that's why I agree also with the formula presented by Sir Chad and Teacher Vasquez, no? 14 times 15. This is ito po, 14 times 15 divided by 2. Congratulations sa lahat ng nakasagot ng tama sa item na letter B. But if not, it's still okay. It's a learning experience for everyone. Next number. With n factorial equals n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 all over 3 times 2 times 1, ano po ang units or ones digit ng 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial all the way until 10 factorial when simplified? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Paki-comment po ng ating sagot sa number na to. Letter C daw, sabi ni Sir Jason. Same with baskets. Okay, with Ma'am Ralin. Okay, C. So actually, meron pong point na sinabi dito si Teacher Vasquez at saka si Sir Chad, no? Ang punto nila, 5 factorial onwards terminates with 0. And I agree with that, no? Because n factorial is divisible by 10 starting from 5 factorial. So ito po, for 1 factorial 1, 2 factorial is 2 times 1 or 2, 3 factorial is equal to 6, 4 factorial is 24, 5 factorial is 120. So take note as well, no? That for all the numbers 6 factorial all the way until 10 factorial, they will surely end with 0. And that is a very good observation. Bakit 0 po? 'Di ba? Yung 5 factorial kasi nag-e-end na siya by 0. So kahit anong natural number man ang i-multiply mo sa starting mula 5 factorial, it will always end with 0. That's why, for this case, I will not consider anymore the units digit of 6 factorial to 10 factorial because they are all 0 actually. So dahil ones digit lang naman po yung problema natin or your units digit, so I will just add the ones digit ng mga numbers na to. Yung 1, 2, 6, and 4 because they are non-zero, no? And their sum is 13. So you see, yung ones digit niya ay 3. So I don't know what this number are. I mean, when simplified, I don't know what this number is. But one thing I know is that it ends with the digit 3. Letter C po, yung tamang sagot. So sa lahat ng C, ikaw na. But if not, it's still okay po. Yung mahalaga, nag-try po tayo. Nag-try po tayong umipik, umasa, masaktan. Kidding aside. Okay, sige lang po. Laban lang po mga kaguro. Next number. Tumatawa taga sa search chat. Okay. The terms of the function f of n equals 3n minus 4 produces what kind of sequence? Is it A, arithmetic, B, geometric, C, harmonic, or D, Fibonacci? Letter A daw. Sabi ng mga, ng mga classmates ninyo. Tama nga kaya. So, remember, when we speak about a sequence now, a sequence is a function whose domain is a set of natural numbers and whose range is a set of real numbers. So if we have this function, to get the first term, first, substitute n by 1, and it will become 3 times 1 minus 4, which simplifies to negative 1. If n is 2, you could see that f of 2 is equal to 3 times 2 minus 4. So this is 6 minus 4 or 2. If if n is 3, this is equal to 3 times 3 minus 4. That's 9 minus 4 or 5. If n is 4, it follows that the fourth term is 3 times 4 minus 4 or simply 8. And the fifth term is 11, no? And you could actually continue the pattern or the process indefinitely if you wish. So you produce these numbers, this sequence, negative 1, 2, 5, 8, 11, and so on. And you could see it has a common difference of 3, no? Dahil 2 minus negative 1 is 3, 5 minus 2 is 3, 8 minus 5 is 3, 11 minus 8 is 3, and so on. That's why, even if you continue the pattern, I'm sure po na meron tayong common difference na 3. Thus, the terms form an arithmetic sequence, which is letter A. All right. I hope clear po sa atin. 16. What is the units digit of 3 raised to 1,047? Is it 1, 3, 7, or 9? Malaking number siya. Pero ano kaya yung last? When we say units digit, ito yung digit at the ones place, no? So ano kaya yung digit in the ones place na to kapag sinimplify mo? Okay, I could see mixed answers. I could see letter B. And I could see letter C. Let's see who got it right. Now, let's look for a pattern. If you have 3 raised to 1, it's 3. So its units digit is 3. No problem. If 3 squared, 9, it ends with 9. 3 cubed is 27. So it ends with 7. 3 to the 4th is 81. So it ends with 1. If we have 3 to the 5th, it's 243. So the ones digit is 3. 3 to the 6th is 7 to 9, and so on. Now, oh, so now, you could notice po, yung ones digit nila is 3971. 3971. Paulit-ulit siya, di ba? There is a pattern. Paulit-ulit yung 3971, 3971, and so on po. Okay, so that's why apat po silang paulit-ulit, no? So, since meron kang 3 raised to 1047, divide nyo lang po ito by 4. Bakit 4? Dahil apat po na digits ang umuulit or ang being repeated, no? Yung pattern. And if you divide this gives you a remainder of 3. And what does it mean if the remainder is 3? So ito po, remainder 1. Ito po, 1, 2, 3. Therefore, I don't know specifically what this number is when expanded, but one thing I know is that this number ends with 7. Letter C. Okay, sabi po ni Teacher Basket, 3 raised to 1047 mod 10, using Euler's generalization of Fermat's little theorem. Okay. Thank you po, Ma'am Baskets, for opening that up. So, it's an amazing thing, no, that's in number theory. In my case, I tried to use the pattern and which is different, no? So, yung process ko sa'yo, but it's still correct din po. Okay. Euler's quotient. Okay, sige. Thank you po. 17. If k is equal to 4 times 10 raised to negative 3, what's the value of 1 over k? Did you go for 25, 250, 2,500, or 25,000? Okay? May sumagot ng B, may sumagot ng C, may sumagot ng D. So far, A lang ata yung hindi pinili. Parang ako, no? Hindi pinili. Kidding. Biro lang po. Okay. So, sino kaya sa inyo ang tama? Now. Sige lang po. Now, if this is K, di ba ang hinihingi dito is 1 over K. Okay, make it 1 over K like this. So, you see, you take the reciprocal, no? So, ito, reciprocal of K is 1 over K. The reciprocal of 4 times 10 raised to negative 3 is also 1 over this number. Now, kung inyo po, di ba, meron po tayong loss of exponent, and there is a 10 times negative 3 in the denominator. Our loss of exponent tells us that if the base is positive and the exponent is negative, di ba, kapag nandyan siya sa denominator, pupunta siya sa numerator, copy the base, and the exponent will become positive. That's why 1 over k is equal to this one, 10 cubed over 4. 10 cubed is 1,000. Divided by 4, this gives us 250. Letter B. Grabe. Kanina pa kayo, sir. Pasensya na po. Just to lighten up the mood ng po mga kaguro. Okay. Letter B po ang tamang sagot. Congratulations sa lahat ng B. If you answered B, be happy. Kasi tama ang pinili mo. Number 18. Find the simplified form of xy times a quantity x raised to negative 1 plus y raised to negative 2. Did you go for A, B, C, or D? All right. Saan po sa apat na to ang tama? Saan sa apat na ito ang dapat mong ipaglaban? Okay. Let's see. So, maraming sumagot ng A. Okay, so in this one, no? In my case, what I did here po is, di ba, x raised to negative 1 means it's reciprocal and the exponent becomes positive. So that's 1 over x plus, ito po, 1 over y squared. Then what I did next is I distributed. Now, if you have xy times 1 over x, so the x will be cancelled. Yung matitira po sa okay, so yung magiging xy over x plus, distribute ko ito, magiging xy over y squared. Pero may mga bagay-bagay na kailangang i-simplify. So dito po, yung x over x ay magiging 1. That's why yung matitira ko dito ay y plus y over y squared will be 1 over y. That's why dapat mawawala yung y sa numerator, but you have y in the denominator. And of course, you still have to copy the x. So if you answered y plus x over y, you got it right. Letter A. Great job. 19. Find the value of k if x plus 3 if x plus 3 is a factor of x cubed minus x squared minus 8x plus k. Did you go for 10, 12, 11, or 13? Okay, letter B. Convinced po ata tayo sa letter B. Meron pong paraan, maraming pong paraan to do this, no? So, since x plus 3 is a factor of x cubed minus x squared minus 8x plus k, then, di ba, by the factor theorem, dapat yung remainder 0. And baka nagtataka po kayo, bakit ganito yung itsura niya? Di ba? I-equate mo po yung x plus 3 sa 0. X plus 3 equals 0 means x is equal to negative 3. Tapos, i-substitute mo po yung negative 3 sa lahat ng x. Naging negative 3 quantity cubed minus negative 3 quantity squared minus 8 times negative 3 plus k. Pero yung value na kasi na to, remainder ito eh. At dahil factor siya, then therefore, if you divide this polynomial by x plus 3, dapat yung remainder natin ay 0. That's why inequate ko po silang dalawa. So, this one simplifies to negative 27 minus, this is 9. Negative 8 times negative 3 is plus 24 plus k equals 0. Simplifying the left-hand side, negative 27 minus 9 plus 24 is negative 12. We still have the plus k equals 0. And adding 12 both sides gives you k equals 12. Letter B. All right. Galing. 20. How many ounces of water must be evaporated from 50 ounces of a 12% salt solution to produce a 15% salt solution? Is it 10 ounce, 12 ounce, 15 ounce, or 8 ounce? Okay, so far we have around 5 people ata who commented. And your answer is 20 ounce. Okay, we have 7 now. Paano kaya gawin to? Okay, sabi niya alligator method. Ano yun? Galing. Okay, sabi naman ni Sir Jun Coral, 50 times 0.12 equals 6. Yung 6 will be divided by 0.15, which is 40. Okay, let's see if you are right. There are so many ways of doing this. I believe my method is different from some of you know. So I let x be the ounces of water that must be evaporated. So ito po yung ginawa ko. Yan. Di ba? Unang-una, meron kang 50 ounces. Dahil 12 ounces nito ay salt, that's why 50 times 0.12. Ito po yung salt content ng water originally, no? Which is 6 actually. Tama po yan. Pero, babawasan mo siya ng tubig, di ba? Remember, this is 12% salt. But this time, tubig yung kukunin mo and pure water is 0% salt. That's why I have here x ounces times 0 equals, di ba, kapag 50 siya, ito x, it means na yung matitira sa volume sa volume ay 50 minus x. At this time, 15% solution na siya. So dapat ito yung multiply sa kanya. And so, simplifying this, that would be 50 times 0.12 will be 6 equals, this is just 0, by the way. 50 times 0.15 is 7.5 minus 50 times negative x times 0.15, which is negative 0.15x. Multiplying both sides by 100 gives you 600 equals 750 minus 15x. So, adding 15x both sides and subtracting 600 both sides gives you 15x equals 150, or x is equal to 10. Letter A. All right. Okay, how many quarts of a 20% acid solution should be added to 30 quarts of a 50% acid solution to obtain a 40% acid solution? Is it 10 quarts, 15 quarts, 18 quarts, or 25 quarts? Okay? Di daw? Let's see. 15 quarts daw. So, in my case, ito po yung ginawa ko. I let x to be the amount in quarts of a 20% acid solution. No? So, that's why, that's x. Pero dahil 20% acid siya, i-multiply natin siya sa 0.2. Kasi 20% is 0.2 as a decimal. Plus, di ba yung original is, yung given is 30. Pero dahil 50% acid solution siya, times 0.5. Kasi that's the 50% is equal to 0.5 as a decimal. Equals, dahil meron ka ng x quarts and 30 quarts, it means that all in all, you will have x plus 30 quarts. And this time, 40% na siya. That's why x plus 30 is multiplied by 0.4. Ngayon, simplifying this, x times this is 0.2x plus 30 times 0.5 is 15 equals, distributing this po, 0.4 times x will be 0.4x plus 0.4 times 30, which is plus 12. Ngayon, ayoko kasing may ano no? So, puro kasi na hindi integers lahat. So, I multiplied both sides by 10 para mawala po yung mga decimals. That's why I have 2x plus 150 equals 4x plus, 2x plus 150 equals 4x plus 120. So, yeah. So, I subtracted 2x here. 4x minus 2x is 2x. 150 minus 120 is 30. And dividing both sides by 2 gives us letter B, 15. The correct answer po is letter B, 15. Oo nga, no, nag-iba na siya, hindi natin makita. Okay, 22. An inlet pipe can fill a tub in 6 hours, and another inlet pipe can fill it in 8 hours, while an outlet pipe can drain it in 12 hours. If all pipes are open at the same time, how long will it take to fill an empty tub? Is it 4.8 hours, 3.6 hours, 2.67 hours, or 3.33 hours? Okay, letter A, which is 4.8. Notice nyo po, yung di ba yung dalawa, they fill. So nagtutulungan po sila yung first at saka yung second pipe. Pero yung third pipe, grabe siya. Pinapalapas niya yung tubig. So yung 6.8, yung first two, papasok yung tubig sa tub. Sa tub, no? Tapos yung third, pinapalabas niya yung tubig. So you see, the first two are actually filling in the tub, but the last is empty, is letting the water escape. So let x be the time in hours it will take to fill an empty tub. So bakit ganito? This is the rate, no? 1/6. So if the first pipe can fill it in 6 hours, meaning in 1 hour it could fill in 1/6. The second pipe can fill it alone in 8 hours. So therefore, in 1 hour, 1/8 yung kaya niyang punan. No? We have to add them because they are both filling in the tub. However, for the third one, we could actually see na pinapalabas niya yung tubig. So if kaya niyang palabasin lahat ng tubig in 12 hours, so in 1 hour, 1/12 yung kaya niyang palabasin. At dahil the water is escaping from the tub, so we have to subtract it. And that's equal to 1/x. So with such, no, multiplying both sides by 24x by the LCD, so we have 4x plus 3x minus 2x equals 24. Simplifying po the right side, that will be 5x equals 24. And dividing both sides by 5 gives you x as 4.8. So sure po tayo that the tub, no, will be filled with water at 4.8 after 4.8 hours. Letter A. All right. I hope you got it. Sa lahat ng sumagot ng A, edi wow, you got it right. 23. The father can do a certain job in 9 days, while his son can do the same job in 16 days. On a given day, they started working together. After 4 days, the son left and the father finished the job alone. How many more days did the father work alone? Sige nga. A, B, C, or D? I can't help but see, no, that to those who commented, your answer is letter C, which is 2 and 3/4. Let's see if you got it right po, mga kaguro. So, di ba, yung father, 9 days. Yung son, 16 days. 4 days silang nagtrabahong dalawa, di ba? Nagtrabaho silang dalawa for 4 days. So, that's why I added 1/9 and 1/16 because these are their rates per day. I multiplied their rates by the sum of their rate. Bakit ko inad? Kasi both of them are working together. Di ba? Tama? Um, that's why I have 4 times the quantity 1/9 plus 1/16. However, sa buhay natin kasi, hindi palaging tayong dalawa yung hindi palaging nagtutulungan. Minsan iiwan ka ng isa at ikaw na lang yung magtatapos ng gawain, di ba? So since the father will finish the job alone, that's why he rate is 1/9, and it will take him X days to do that. That's why I multiplied X and 1/9. And of course, if you add both of them, it will result to the completion of one work. Grabe kayo. And that's why this is your working equation. So if I simplify this, 1/9 plus 1/16, and multiplying by 4, you could verify it to be 25/36, plus this one, x times 1/9 is x over 9 equals 1, no? Multiplying both sides by 36, which is our LCD, to clear up fractions, we have 25 plus 25 over 36 times 36 is 25. 36 divided by 9 is 4. 4 times x will be 4x equals 1 times 36 or 36. So it follows that 4x is equal to 36 minus 25, which is 11. That's why the correct answer is x equals 2 and 3/4, letter C. Very good. 24. If two men can repair six stoves in 4 hours, how many men are needed to repair 18 stoves in 8 hours? Okay. Is it 6, 5, 12, or 3? Okay, tatlo daw. Okay. D, 3. Parang vitamin lang. Now, ito po, no? Um, so I constructed this variation equation. The number of men, of course, will vary directly to the number of stoves. What's M again? Yeah, with the number of stoves and inversely proportional with the time. That's why T. Kasi kapag maraming men, yung time magiging maliit and vice versa. And K here represents the constant of variation po. So solving for K, multiplying both sides by it's MT, dividing by S. So you could see that K is equal to MT all over S. So first given po, you have two men, time is 4 hours, and 6 stoves. That's why by substitution, that's 2 times 4 over 6 equals K, and K simplifies to 4/3. That's why knowing that the value of K is already 4/3, so I will replace this K by 4/3. And that gives you M equals 4S all over 3T. At dahil po dyan, we can now determine the number of men in the second given because we know that S is 18 and 8 is the value of T. That's why M is equal to 4 times 18 all over 3 times 8. And that simplifies to 3. Therefore, 3 men can do it. Letter D. 25. A father is now 3 times as old as his son. 12 years ago, he was 6 times as old as his son. Find the present age of the son. Is it 18, 21, 20, or 19? Wow, letter C. Let's see. From here po mga kaguro, we don't know their ages, but we know that a father is now 3 times as old as his son. So I let X to be the age of the son. And dahil yung tatay 3 times as old, so we will represent his age as 3X. So X and 3X are the ages of the son and father respectively now. No? That's their ages. Sabi kasi, 12 years ago, binalikan natin yung nakaraan. 12 years yung nakaraan. So the age of the father will be 3x minus 12, of course. And the age of the son will be x minus 12. But the age of the father 12 years ago is 6 times the age of the son. So therefore, that's 3x minus 12 as father. Age of the father equals 6 times x minus 12. So using the distributive property sa right side, I just copy the left side, by the way. So 6 times x is 6x. 6 times negative 12 is negative 72. Okay. And doing some sort of manipulation. So I subtracted the 3x here. It became 6x minus 3x is 3x. I added the 72 here. So negative 12 plus 72 is 60. So 60 is equal to 3x. Dividing both sides by 3 gives us x equals 20. Thus, we could say that the son is 20 years old now. Letter C. Tama po yan. Kailangan po nating balikan yung nakaraan minsan. Okay. Proceed po tayo sa number 26. Baka saan pa papunta yung usapan natin. Find the value of x. If 2 raised to x plus 2 is equal to 64. Did you go for 4, 6, 8, or 10? Letter A daw. Tama nga kaya si letter A? We'll see. This is an example of an exponential equation. We could actually see that I copy the left-hand side muna. But 64 could also be expressed as base 2. In fact, 64 is equal to 2 raised to 6, di po ba? And if you could see, the left-hand side and the right-hand side are equal to one another, and their bases are also equal. This implies that their exponents have to be equal also. That's why x plus 2 is equal to 6. Subtracting both sides by 2 gives us the value of x, which is 4. Letter A. Good job, everyone. All right. 27. Find the remainder when 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus 7x plus 5 is divided by x minus 2. Okay? Okay, your answer, okay. Many prefer B, 23. Okay, so let's see. So, in my case, I call this polynomial P of x muna. And dahil yung ating divisor are x minus 2, so equating this to 0 implies that x is equal to 2. Take note, I am using what we call the remainder theorem here. And the remainder theorem tells us that after equating the linear binomial divisor to 0 and solving for x, you substitute the value of x to the x of your given dividend, and whatever answer you get will be the remainder. That is why solving, so I let x be equal to 2, so I solve for p of 2, and that's equal to 3 times 2 cubed minus 5 times 2 squared plus 7 times 2 plus 5. The first, okay, 2 cubed is 8, this is 4. And if you simplify each term here, you would get 24 minus 20 plus 14 plus 5, or 23. So surely the remainder is 23. Letter B. All right. I hope it's clear po mga kaguro. But again, don't forget to ask if you need to ask questions. 28. Find the product of the roots of the equation 2x squared plus x minus 10 equals 0. Is it 5, negative 0.05, negative 5, or 2? Letter C, yung sagot. Okay. Letter C daw, sagot ninyo. Tama nga kaya si C. I hope na hindi po ninyo talaga hinanap yung roots dahil meron po tayong theorem, di ba? If you have the quadratic function equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a is not equal to 0, yung product of the roots po ay c over a. That is, the constant divided by the leading coefficient. Yung sum of the roots naman po natin ay negative b over a. So for this one, for 2x squared plus x minus 10 equals 0, it should be written in standard form, by the way. So your a is 2, and your c is negative 10. That's why the product of the roots is negative 10 over 2, which is negative 5. Letter C. Thank you po. Oh, hinanap ko yung roots using caltech. It's okay po, no? In this case, hindi po necessary na hanapin talaga yung roots. Kasi baka mahanap niyo po yung roots ng sama ng loob ninyo. Char lang, biro lang po. 29. Let f of x be equal to 2x minus 3 and g of x equals 3x plus 2. Find g of f of 0. Did you go for 7, 1/7, negative 1/7, or negative 7? I'm not sure if the calculator is really capable of doing composition of functions. I'm not really sure po. But maybe it's a good avenue for research as well, no? So in my case, if you have this too, kapag sinabi po nating g of f of 0, what it actually means, it could also mean g of f of 0. Meaning to say, you will evaluate f at x equals 0, at kung ano man po yung sagot nito, isa-substitute mo po yung value na yon sa x ni g. So, like dito po, oh. So, di ba, meron ka pong f of 0 sa loob. So, f of 0, so change the x of f to 0. So, f of 0 equals 2 times 0 minus 3. So, it follows that f of 0 is negative 3. Okay? Now, so the value here of f of 0 is negative 3. And we will replace f of 0 by negative 3. That's why this expression becomes g of negative 3. That's why as well, I will now replace the x of g of x by negative 3. And that's 3 times negative 3 plus 2, which simplifies to negative 7. Letter D. Okay, thank you po. At what time between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock will the hands of a clock coincide? Is it A, 4:21? Okay, take a look at these times. Did you go for A, B, C, or D? Okay, letter A daw. Okay. Now, ito po yung ginawa ko. May mga, di ba ganito siya? Ito yung 4 o'clock. This is the shortcut I'm usually employing. And what I do is I have here 11 12x. Di ba dahil magko-coincide siya? So, halimbawa, take note, ito po yung technique. I'm not sure kung ano po yung technique na ginagamit po ninyo. Okay? So, yung technique ko po is, di ba, parang constant quota ito muna, no? Di ba? Assuming na yung our hand will not move. So, ito, 5, ito 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. That's why in-equate ko po siya sa 20. Yan po yung shortcut na ginagawa natin. And for that, if we solve for x now, multiplying both sides by 12 over 11, that gives us x as approximately 21.82 minutes. And what does this mean? That after approximately 21.82 minutes, the two hands will coincide. That's why after 4 o'clock, this means that the hands of the clock will meet at around 4 plus this time, which is 4:21.82. Letter A. Tama po yung letter A. Okay. 31. A business executive bought 40 stamps for 1,208 pesos. The purchase included 32 stamps and 23 stamps. How many 32 peso stamps were bought? Did you go for 30, 36, 32, or 24? From here, we don't know kung ilan sila, di ba? But I could see that many of you answered letter C. All right. 32. So I let X be the number of 32 peso stamps. And I let Y to be the number of 23 peso stamps. We know that there are 40 stamps all in all, so which means X plus Y is equal to 40 po. Ngayon, I subtracted both sides by X. So y could be expressed as 40 minus x. Ginagawa ko po ito, I am expressing y in terms of x. And, di ba, yung total nila, yung 32 na to, yung 32 stamps na worth x pesos each, ay yung x stamps worth 32 pesos each is 32x, yung total price niya. Yung y stamps at 23 pesos each is 23y. At yung at saka kapag kinumbine natin yung values or yung value ng dalawang to, magiging 1,208 pesos. Yung hinahanap natin kasi sa problem nito ay ano lang, di ba? Yung number of 32 peso stamps. That's why I expressed y in terms of x. So this time, I will replace y with 40 minus x. And that gives us 32x plus 23 times 40 minus x equals 1,208. Multiplying the 23 and 40 minus x gives you 920 minus 23x. And from here, 32x minus 23x is 9x. 1,208 ito, subtract lang. Magiging 288 yan. And dividing both sides by 9 gives us 32. Hence, we could say that there are 32 peso stamps. Letter G. 32. Kent drives to office at 20 kilometers per hour at half an hour earlier than Wilfred, a neighbor of his who works in the same office building as he does. If Wilfred has traveled at the same route at 50 kilometers per hour, how long after Kent leaves will he overtake him? 21, 23, 22, or 20 minutes? To those who commented, there are 5 of you. Your answer is B. Let's see kung tama. So, we know that the rate in kilometers per hour or the speed of Kent is 20 and that of Wilfred is 50. Sabi sa problem, mas nauna si Kent ng half an hour, di ba? Ng 30 minutes. So therefore, that's why merong 1/2 dito. Tapos, the same amount of time lapsed between Kent and Wilfred. And we don't know that. Let's call it X. Okay? Here. That's why the time of Wilfred is X hours, whereas for Kent, it's X plus 1/2 hours. And remember, to get the distance, we know that distance is equal to rate times time. That's why 20 times this will give you 20x plus 10. And 50 times x gives you 50x. Diba? Dahil mas mabilis si Wilfred kaysa kay Ken, darating din ang time na maaabutan ni Wilfred si Ken. At nang naabutan niya siya, dapat they are side by side? And they should be of the same distance from the point where they started. Hence, we have to equate 20x plus 10, and we have to equate their distances. So 20x plus 10 equals 50x. So 10 is equal to 30x. Dividing both sides by 30, that gives you 1/3 hours. But we know that 1/3 of an hour is equal to 20 minutes. Letter D. Ay, grabe siya. Naabutan mo nga, kaso nga meron na siyang iba. Ay, grabe siya. Grabe kayo. Naabutan mong may kasamang iba. My point. Sige lang. Thank you po. I hope you got the explanation. 33. Find the sum of the first 100 positive odd integers. Is it 13,000, 12,000, 11,000, or 10,000? Letter D, ang sagot natin. Okay, let's see kung tama. Take note po ha. We can use the formula. This is another formula for the arithmetic series. That's S sub n is equal to n over 2 times 2a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times t. I think iba po yung ginamit na formula ng iba. Usually, you could use this to get the sum, no, of the terms of an arithmetic series, especially if you are given with the common difference. In our case, odd numbers have a common difference of 2. So we will get S sub 100 of 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus and so on. So your n will be 100. A sub 1 will be 1. Of course, n is 100. And the common difference will be 2. That's why I have 100 over 2 times 2 times 1 plus 100 minus 1 times 2. And if you do the algebra of this, or if simplifying this, I'm sure that you will get 10,000, letter D. And I would like also to affirm the statement of one of your classmates, no? If you will get the summation of 2n minus 1, starting from 1, all the way to 100, it will be 10,000. Or the sum of the first n natural numbers, the sum of the first n odd counting numbers is n squared. That's why 100 squared will be 10,000. All right. 34. A certain amount of money was invested at 2.5% simple interest, and it gained 2,250 pesos in a span of 5 years. How much in Philippine pesos was invested? 18, 20, 21, or 23,000? Okay, letter A daw. Let's see kung tama po kayo mga kaguro. We know that interest is equal to PRT, di ba? And since we are after of the P, or the principal amount, we divided both sides by RT. All right? And with such, by substitution, that's 2,250 divided by 0.025, because 2.5%, it's 0.025 as a decimal, times a time of 5 years, gives us P of 18,000 pesos. Letter A. Good job, everyone. How about this? After investing 45,000 pesos at 3.75% simple interest for X years, it became 50,062 and 50 centavos. What is X? Okay, did you go for 2, 3, 5, or 6? Okay, letter B daw. But you could see, no, hindi po natin alam kung, apparently you might say, sir, I don't know kung ilan yung interest. But actually, you could solve for the interest by what? You could solve for the interest by subtracting the larger value by the smaller value. So that's why the interest here is 5,062 and 50 centavos. So using again the formula I equals PRT, we are solving for T. That's why I don't need the PR on the right-hand side. So I divided both sides by PR. That's why I over PR equals T. By substitution, that gives us 5,062.50 all over 45,000 times 0.0375. And using your calculators gives us X is equal to 3. Therefore, the said amount was invested for 3 years. Letter B po, mga kagulo. Good job. 36. If the selling price is more than the cost price, the difference in the prices is what do you call that? Is it A, profit, B, loss, C, break even, or D, overhaul? Okay. Wow, grabe kayo. Sabi dito, Loss if selling price is less than the cost price, sabi ni Ma'am Fel. Okay, tama nga kaya si Ma'am Fel at saka yung ating mga kaguro? Let's see. If you answered letter A, congratulations, you got it right. Kapag mas malaki yung selling price kaysa sa cost price, ito po yung parang benta mo, ito yung parang parang kapital ata ito, no? In simple terms. So profit po yung kalabasan. However, if the selling price is less than the cost price, meaning lugi ka po, meron kang loss. If break-even naman po yung term, if equal po silang dalawa. If equal yung selling price at saka cost price, I mean, if you consider everything, no, parang wala kang kita. Zero lang yung difference nila. Yung overhaul, wala lang, nilagay ko lang yan dyan. Letter A po, yung tamang sagot. Okay. 37. After investing a certain amount of money at 1.2% simple interest rate for 4 years, my money became 83,840 pesos in all. How much was invested? Did you go for A, 79,000, B, 80,000, C, 81,000, or D, 82,000? Okay, B daw. Let's see. So we know that the FA or the future value or the final amount is equal to the principal plus the interest, which is PRT. You see that P is a common factor at the right-hand side, right? So I factored out P here, and P divided by P is 1. PRT divided by P is RT. That's why it's P times the quantity 1 plus RT. Since I need only P on the right-hand side, I divided both sides by 1 plus RT. That's the reason I arrived to FA is equal to 1. FA all over 1 plus RT equals your P. And by substitution now, that's 83,840 all over 1 plus 0.012 times 4 simplifies to 80,000 pesos. Letter B. Very good. All right. 38. I hope you got it po. Again ha, huwag po kayong mahiyang magtanong kung may katanungan po. 38. How much to the nearest whole number will an amount in Philippine pesos be after 2 years when 25,000 is invested at 0.05 interest compounded semi-annually? Letter A daw. Which, take a look at the choices. A, B, C, or D? Letter A. Okay, we'll see. I hope you could still remember the formula for the future value of an amount, no? In compound interest. That is F is equal to P sub O times the quantity 1 plus R over S, and 1 plus R over S is raised to ST. So, P sub O is the principal amount or the amount you invested. R is the interest rate. Dahil semi-annually, ano po yung value ng S kapag semi-annually? Okay, tama po. Semi-annually, S is 2. And dahil yung time mo is still 2 years, so 2 din. That's why, if you substituted those values, you will get this expression po. Okay? Then, we know that the 1 plus this number, you could verify with your calculators, it's 1.00025. You raise to 2 times 2 or 4, and multiply that to 25,000 will give you approximately 25,025, letter A. Tama. So, ibig sabihin, semi-annually, bawat 6 months, no, may interest siya. It's compounded every 6 months. That's why you're in 1 year twice. 39. How much will an amount in Philippine pesos be after 10 years when 40,000 is invested at 3% compounded monthly? So you're, in this case, take a look at A, B, C, or D. Saan kaya? Letter A daw. So yung P natin ay 40,000. Yung R natin ay 3% or 0.03. Yung time natin is 10 years, so T is 10. Ang tanong, dahil compounded monthly, ano po yung value ng S? So S here will be 12. Very good. S will be 12. That's why you could arrive to this expression, 40,000 times 1 plus 0.03 over 12 raised to 12 times 10. That's by substitution. And you can simplify this po, no, using your calculators, giving us approximately 53,974 pesos and 14 centavos. Letter A. Wow. Very good. And I hope you got it po. And we have one more for tonight. A certain product was given successive discounts of 25% and 40% in this order. Overall, the original price of the product was decreased by how many percent? 65, 60, 58, or 55? Di daw. Yung karamihang ginagawa po kasi ng iba, 25 plus 40, kaya 65. But it's not po. If this is the case, if you could also remember from the past discussions, we will subtract from 1 or 100%. Kapag meron kang 25% discount, which means at that time, 75% na lang yung natitira sa price niya. That's why 0.75. Also, if 40% was deducted, meaning 60% na lang yung natira sa price niya at that time. And 0.75 times 0.60 will actually give you 0.45. So 1 minus 0.45 gives you 0.55, or converting this one to percent, that is 55% po. Letter D. So, or if you wish, kapag yung ginawa nyo naman po ay, for example, you peg the price to be 100, may discount ka na 25%. So, magiging 75 na lang. Tapos, yung 75%, kukunan mo ng 40%, tapos subtract mo siya from 75%, di ba yung 40% ng 75% ay 20%, right? So, check, correct me if I'm wrong. So, from 100, magiging 75 siya muna. Sorry. At after niyang magiging 75, magiging 45 na lang yung price niya, di ba? That's why 100 minus 45, 55% yung discount. I hope you understand the discussion for tonight. With that, thank you very much and a great day to one and all.